There it is.
Yeah, I can't really move too much, otherwise I'll
No, I won't be either. Yeah.
What? I gotta look presentable here, you know what I mean?
Well, you know you're correcting yourself while you're already on.
I know. Otherwise, Mommy Charles will turn in her grave that her little boy isn't looking presentable on a live thing, you know?
Yeah. This will help a little bit more comments too over there on the side. However, it will be a little bit behind just in case you notice.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's probably gonna look funny.
Boys, we part the scene and ting.
Oh yeah.
Once again, this is a Dirty Immigrant.
The Scotland.
Yes, I coming to you on 88.1 FM, the cutting edge on your radio dial. Also, you could go check us out on www.marshall.edu/WMUL and listen there.
There we
Stream
go.
one. But also, we on live right now, so you all get ready. Come on here, drop some stuff in the comments. I'm looking right at it now. I'm gonna squint a little bit. You know,
Well, this is still going to be better than when you were trying to squint, you know, when I had my phone up when you were going.
Yeah. What is going on here? Who's there? Who's there?
Trying to read
You know,
what's on
ting
there.
and
So.
ting. So, you know, tune on in. We're going to read some of your comments on there. Of course, it has to be pertaining to whatever we are discussing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And ting. And of course, we're looking at it on two different screens here. One on the computer and another one.
Well, the one that's live is the one over here.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Right
the iPad.
Is
there.
comments going to come up on that too?
Yeah, comments will pop up on that too.
Okay.
But I've got this one over here just in case this may be easier for you to see. I don't know.
Yeah, you know.
So
Yeah.
we've got a couple options. We've got that
These-
screen and we've got this screen over here. The one on the computer is the one how everybody's going to be kind of watching it live. So
Yeah.
a few seconds behind.
All right.
But
We're
whatever.
vibing up and ting, you know, in case we curse. That's
Dr.
not
Bailey?
gonna happen.
He knows we're on here right now. So
What's up, Doc? Yeah, my brother. So I'm going with you this weekend thing. We're gonna just like go random here, you know what I mean? And thing.
well, hang on. First of all, hang on. I got a text.
He's in trouble.
No, I'm not actually. This is something else. Okay, so I'll be able to look at that later. For a second, I thought, okay, if somebody's trying to message me somehow about this, like, man, just hop on and watch and comment on there. You know, look at
Yeah.
that
Oh,
that
we
way,
already
but-
have one comment, and obviously.
No, we don't. That says Mofro's watching.
Oh,
That's not a comment. If it comes up in green like that, that basically means that somebody that, since this is logged in through me,
No, he commented.
one of my friends is watching. Yeah, now he commented. He just said, "Hey, fellas."
Hey, what up,
What's up,
Mofro?
Mofro?
Oh, yeah, do my brother and thing, you know. I haven't seen him in a long time. It's been years.
He's actually going to try and come to town here at some point, possibly in April.
Oh,
He
okay.
was saying he's gonna try and come in for a visit.
All right, cool.
So you may get to see him then, and obviously that would be a home weekend, so we may get to drop him in here on the show.
Oh,
That's right,
yeah,
Mofro.
yeah,
He might be
Mofro.
coming on the
You
show.
gonna come run your mouth, brother. Prepare yourself. Drink lots of water and dig, you know.
Hey, Mofro just said he did a 24-hour live stream for charity.
Oh, cool.
Holy mackerel!
Yeah, what was that about?
That's
Mofro?
a long time. And Shelly Ball says hello.
Hey, what's up, Shelly? How
And
you
Mo-
doing,
and-
my sister?
And Mofro says yes, the 19th of April is when he's going to try and come in.
Oh, cool.
So.
It's been at least 8 years or more, isn't it? It's been a long time since I see
Hang
Mofro.
on, because I remember exactly when the last time was that he was here, because of something odd that happened. I think it's been closer to about 10 years.
Whoa.
So
Wonder
I
if he
want to
got any
say
taller.
I want to say that was 2008.
Wow.
I think.
Dude, that's a long time and thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, we just vibing up here. So what been going on with you all week and thing?
Man, working on softball. I mean, we had number 13 Kentucky come in this week, and lost that game 9-4. But I will say this: they fought hard because that game looked like it could get ugly, really ugly early. Because they Kentucky scored 2 in the first, and then they put up 7 more in the third to go up 9-0.
Yeah.
But the fans stuck around because I think what also helped was in the bottom of the third, Allie Harold just smashed one out to right, for another home run. I mean, she and Maya have just been killing it this year. So I think that helped, and then we scored 3 more in the fourth, made it 9-4, and fought hard the rest of the way. Had some chances, but unfortunately couldn't come through with it. But still, I think a good showing against the number 13 team in the country.
Yeah.
And then
That's
2
nice.
more wins today, 5-0 and 7-0 over UTSA. So,
He's buzzing on you. He's buzzing.
Well, the problem is I'm in a group message, so yeah, I'm gonna have to put this back in my pocket, or else it's gonna be making some noise over there on the counter.
Dude,
So-
for a single dude, you sure have a lot of women buzzing in on your phone. They're
And
all on the team.
I was gonna say, it's all work related, I guess you want to call it that, but.
I don't have any women buzzing in on me. You know what I mean?
Yo, shut up.
They don't buzz it on a brother.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It's like the Sahara Desert over here. It's just dry. You'd think I'd be more thirsty, you know?
Shut up. Don't buy it. Don't buy it.
You know what I mean?
He keeps them at that nice stiff arm's length over here, but don't buy the fact that nobody's messaging him over here. Don't buy into that.
I don't know what the vibe is. I know it's maybe because I'm too tall, Maybe it's because I'm so good looking. Maybe it's because I'm an immigrant, I don't know. You know what I mean? But something is wrong. Ladies don't go for a brother.
You want to see what I deal with all the time?
Yeah, actually, I
just realized, did you want to put this, because I didn't hit record on this.
Nah, don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry
Okay.
about it. Because also, people, check out our website. It's
the Rudebuoyz Rant. .com.
Or just Rudebuoyzrant.com.
There's no the?
There's no the.
Okay, so just Rudebuoyz. So I'm even getting it wrong.
Yeah.
Rudebuoyzrant.com. Eventually, we will have this actually memorized, and we'll get it right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Go check it out. As a matter of fact, if you're on our Facebook page, it's listed on there. You just go click on it, go check out the website, you know what I mean? And go easy. I built it. And I am not a computer geek. I think I did a pretty decent job, but I'm learning as I go along, just like we're learning with this
I'm not a computer
podcast.
geek either.
Yeah.
And in fact, most of the time, I wish I could break computers. I can't
Yeah.
stand them. Had another stat problem, this week, with live stats not wanting to work and games going funky and all that I had to try and fix. I mean, yesterday I think Jason and I sat there at my desk for a good hour trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with my live stats, and he helped me get it figured out. So
There's a Ben on there. Is that your buddy Ben?
Felicia, yeah. Yeah, he and Mofro are kind of chatting back and
I
forth.
see
right
that, you
now.
know what I mean? That thing. So what's got you riled up in the news lately? Have you seen anything?
Well, okay. People who listen to the show obviously know that I'm a big sports fan. However, there are certain things that I just really don't get into. And I'm tired of people acting like the world is coming to an end because I don't participate in something. Look, hopefully I don't shock everybody out there, but I don't fill out a March Madness bracket for men's or women's. I don't do it. I never have. I just don't want to. And I keep having people when they say, "Oh man, so how's your bracket doing?" I don't fill one out. What? Like I'm suddenly un-American because I didn't fill out a bracket.
Yeah, what's wrong with you, man?
Man, I
You're
don't
supposed
care.
to be a red-blooded American. American, you know what I mean?
I don't care. To be quite
They're
honest.
filling out brackets in the islands, dude.
Oh man. Well, and you know what? And some of these people that I know are filling out like handfuls of them.
Yeah.
It's like they want to make sure that they're right somewhere. So it's like, oh man, I've got 8 brackets I'm trying to check. So, dude, do you have time for that?
You know what I mean?
Look, this time, especially this time of year for me right now, this is now my 16th season. In March, to me, that's softball season. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've been following along with the women's basketball team. They're in one of the other tournaments. They're in the WBI right now. They won their first round game. They're going to play Appalachian State on Monday, so good luck to them. But you know, even last year when our men's team was in the NCAA tournament, all I really cared to watch was their games. I didn't care really about much else.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's also softball season right now. So that's what I'm trying to deal with. That's what I'm doing. I don't have time to sit here and fill out brackets and trying to figure out, okay, well, this team, when they're going up against this type of a player, oh, they're actually averaging 6 points less a game, so they're probably going to lose that one. And oh, well, this one might be an upset, so I gotta get. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I'll check in on some games every once in a while and go, oh, hey, look, that's an upset. That's awesome. I don't care, folks. I don't. I'm sorry.
I don't care, and I even played college basketball. I couldn't care less. You know what I mean? I'm always digging my nose when
Your
I'm
friend
on here.
Moesa said it's like filling out bingo.
Yeah, hey,
And you know
Moesa.
what? I agree with you with the way some of those
Yeah.
people do it, man. It really does look like it's
I
like
know.
they're
I didn't win
filling
any
out a
money.
bingo sheet in some places. But okay, so that's another thing. Obviously, since I work in collegiate athletics, we're not allowed to wager anything on it.
Yeah.
So if you did it, okay, hang on, I take that back. You can get into something that you can get a prize for, but not something you have to pay, I think, to get into. Something like that. So basically, it's not like I can sit down with a friend and say, hey, let's both throw in $50, and whoever ends up right, you can't do that, because if you work in collegiate athletics, they think it's going to be kind of like, you know, maybe the insider trading type thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I might know somebody who works at the University of Virginia, and I might know, hey, this guy's injured, and UVA might get upset in the second round or something like that, and so I'll have insider information that will help me.
But wait a minute, though.
Beat
Some of those people
somebody
that
else.
are doing that, they're politicians, and they got insider
I
vibe
know,
going. You know what I
yeah.
mean? You see, dude, that's the thing that really makes me angry. Well, not angry. Sorry, not angry. Perturbed is a better term.
Okay.
It's rich people doing whatever they want and getting away with whatever they want.
Oh, yeah.
You see that one dude, the Patriots owner, who supposedly was a prostitution.
Oh, yeah.
They say they're gonna give him just let him go free.
Well, he filed for suppression on the evidence, and I think basically that means he doesn't want anybody to find out.
Yeah.
Now,
But they're bashing Michael Jackson all day, and he dead. He can't even defend himself.
I know,
And I'm not defending him. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This living man here possibly did something, possibly.
now the one thing I will say this though with that case is that he ended up getting busted in what they were trying to investigate into a human trafficking ring. Now they did say he wasn't guilty of that. So he was facing obviously lesser charges, the prostitution thing, but he wasn't found in any charges relating to their human sex trafficking thing that they were looking into, which obviously is absolutely horrendous. The fact that people do this in this country, in this world, whatever, the fact that they are selling people to go make money for them doing just horribly disgusting things.
They just busted like eight or nine people or so in Ohio for human trafficking and stuff like that.
We are losing our humanity and our compassion for anything. We really are, man.
Nah, I tell you what, the past 200-300 years, when people approach you, that's the representative, the true male.
Yeah.
Chauvinistic stuff is coming out. That's exactly what's going on. You know what I mean? If I'm rich, why am I paying anybody for vibe? You know what I mean? I don't understand that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your marriage suffices. You pay. Why?
In case you're new to the show, I say we. I've never been married. This one over here has. We rip on marriage a lot.
Yeah. Why you think I've never gotten remarried? You know what I mean? I don't want to be a pimp.
The views expressed on the Rudebuoyz are not that of WMUL. I'm saying that for you, Dr. Bailey.
I mean, let's get real here. You know what I mean? Listen, man. I think everything is. I don't know if it's taking a step backwards or it's a cycle of things.
Yeah.
But it seems like the more younger girls that I talk to, they all want to be stay-at-home moms.
Really?
Uh-huh. Maybe it's the demographics of where I am.
That is possible too, but you know how many guys I know also wish they could be stay-at-home dads, whatever? Like, are we just getting lazy? Because, okay, you and I have both seen how obviously people make their decisions on who they should be with by the amount of wealth that they have.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's got to be part of it, because I've known guys who are trying to find rich girls, and obviously girls who are trying to find rich guys. You know, I mean, seriously, is it the whole lazy side? Man, I don't want to work anymore. You do it. You got enough money.
Or is it entitlement? And the reason why I say that is because when somebody
Both.
when somebody say, I'm trying to better my life. You know, I'm trying to
trying to better my life by marrying somebody who's got a buttload more money than I do.
That's the thing, though. They're not talking about better in their lives spiritually or anything like that.
Financially.
Yeah, it's a better car, better house, better woman, better man, you know, better this. Everything that's materialistic. And I put human beings in a materialistic way there because that's how we treat each other, like material.
Well, and that's how they look at it. I mean, I keep talking about the time when I was over getting my hair cut, and this woman was talking about how she had an upcoming wedding, and it was going to be, I think, her 4th and his 5th. And I don't think she was any older than maybe 45 to 50. 9th marriage combined between these two? I mean, really? Ignore some of Ben's comments.
I saw that one with that, Ben.
Stop, Ben.
Like, what?
Stop it, all right? Stop it, Ben.
Behave yourself, brother. It's like, what? I saw that and I was like, well, maybe this is bifocals.
No, it's not your bifocals. It's not your glasses. It's not your eyes. Stop it, Ben. Man.
Our parents are watching this.
I don't know if mine are. I know mine tend to just listen, but
not my parents. You know, I shocked somebody the other day, and I think they don't like me very much after that. They said, I wish I could talk to my mom, to their mother, and I said, I don't wish I could talk to my. I think she'd understand. She'd want me to keep living.
Oh gosh,
they didn't like that joke.
Well, remember the time though when somebody texted you that was obviously a wrong number?
Yeah.
And they said, "Hey, mom wants you to
take something over the oven."
No. I think it was like set the oven to 350 and start it in 10 minutes or something like that. And what was your response? That'd be a pretty neat trick because mom's dead. I thought, oh my gosh, like. Boy, if that doesn't make somebody go, oh, that's the wrong number.
I put, oh my god, I'm sorry. Don't worry about it.
I got one time. I got a text message. I was at home in the summer once, and I don't think this was at a time when I was home, for the whole summer. I think I'd just gone home for maybe a couple weeks or something like that. But I get this one text. It wasn't too late one night, maybe around 9 o'clock or something like that. Number I don't recognize. It's a Virginia number, but it's a number I don't recognize. And it just said, "Hey, what are you wearing to the meeting or something? What are you wearing to something tomorrow?" And I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to figure out right now if this is somebody I actually know or not. So I responded with, I figured I'd go with something goofy, maybe a little purple and orange kind of mixed together. Their response, "Ha, you're nuts." I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but whatever. The next morning, I get a text from that same person that said, "Hey, when are you coming down to breakfast?" I didn't respond to that one. So I was like,
hey, see, I would have gone in a different route there. What are you wearing? I'm coming nude.
I thought maybe rolling up in a birthday suit.
You know what I mean? That thing? Vanilla looks good with everything. But man,
Lordy.
Going back to, I've been watching some of this. Okay, check this out. We were talking about the rich people. We kind of got off track a little bit.
Doing whatever they want.
The Queen of England. The Queen of England was trying to use funds designated for the poor, for some poor, to pay for the heat in Buckingham Palace. I mean, it's just money that's supposed to go to the poor, but I'm cold. Hey Charles, I'm
walk
cold.
around with another blanket.
God knows they have electric blankets up in that place.
Oh man.
Trying to take the money from the poor.
There's enough room. There's enough rooms in that place. Just start going grabbing blankets out of some of those other rooms. People aren't sleeping in some of those.
You got footmen. Send them out to get some of the thickest blankets for you. You know what I mean? Speaking of which,
that's probably cheaper than the heat for that place would be.
Of
You,
course,
you
the
could
building was
probably
old,
you
too.
could probably buy at least a dozen blankets and sweaters for cheaper than what heating that place up
Oh
would be.
yeah.
Or at least heating it up additionally so that like you're not cold.
Right now, Prince Charles and Camilla is in Grenada. I don't know how many booze they get.
I'm sorry, Grenada. No.
But you know, rich people are tripping these days.
Well, and that's
man.
why I have said that, and let me finish this explanation, folks, that I believe Donald Trump is the perfect president for right now, because we keep seeing all these rich people do whatever they want,
Yeah.
and I think he's doing pretty much the same thing. He's basically waving his middle finger to everybody, saying, "Hey, you can't do anything about it."
Yeah.
And you know, all of this self-centeredness that everybody's, you know, look at me, look at me, look at me. You know, I've got to have everybody look at what I'm doing, and you know, and pay attention to me. And he comes out with, well, I never even got a thank you for allowing John McCain to have the funeral he wanted. Hey, grow up. Grow up.
Well, you see,
You know how many of us regular people don't get thanks for stuff that we actually do?
But
Really?
here's the thing, though. Another flip side to that is he's a perfect president for now, simply because everything that Obama and George Bush Jr. and George Bush Sr. and Reagan and them had to do, he's just doing it in the open.
Well,
you know
and
what I
Clinton,
mean?
too.
Well, Clinton did a lot of stuff in the open. you know what I
Clinton
mean?
tried to hide some of that stuff not too well.
Well,
Trump just came straight out and would say,
I don't think Clinton tried to hide anything, man. He's in the Oval Office, full Monty. I mean, you know, doing his thing. You understand?
you know,
He wasn't
vanilla
trying to
looks
hide
good
that.
with
There-
everything.
There's cameras everywhere, dude.
What?
The Secret Service guys must have been sitting there checking this
Oh.
whole thing out.
Security looks at the monitor and goes, "Dadgummit."
They probably said,
Again?
"Oh man, why couldn't this be Marilyn Monroe?"
Happy birthday to me.
You know, that's not the birthday, the birthday showing I wanted.
Oh my gosh.
But that's the thing. You know, everything he's doing in the open.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Obama and them just hit it well.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, okay, I saw a bunch of people complaining that he was giving this woman some medal of freedom.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because she donated to his his
Yeah.
thing. Well,
Which
Obama,
is not what that's supposed to be for.
Obama,
But, you know.
a bunch of people who donated this thing, so they got diplomatic something to
Oh, yeah,
Copenhagen
yeah, yeah.
and diplomatic. They got jobs out the wazoo.
Oh, yeah.
They all
Yeah.
do it. Every single one of them. You know what I
They
mean?
do.
And this
They
is the
do.
reason why I don't understand why people pick sides so much. You know, they got
What?
one hot button issue: abortion. Oh my God, we can't do it. But you know, it's okay.
Well,
Let's kill them little Yemeni children. They okay. You know?
But you know what's funny is like with you're saying with the whole picking sides thing, so many people are just completely and utterly blinded, hypocritical, whatever you want to call it. Because okay, if I'm a big time liberal and Obama wants to hand jobs to somebody, great, do it, perfect, just keep doing it, right?
He
But
said that, and I thought about what Ben wrote.
oh yeah. But then at the same time, so if I'm a big time liberal, and then you know if Trump does things like that, oh no, bad, this is wrong, and then obviously the flip side of that, if I'm a big time Republican and Obama's handing things out,
Yeah.
I'm ripping him for it. But if Trump wants to hand things out, yes, oh yeah,
Yeah.
he should do that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it, you know, because you can see the same things going back and forth, but it's depending on whatever side it is when
Yeah.
you get somebody who rips them for it. And you, okay, you and I have talked about how obviously, okay, we were talking a little bit just when the music was going about, you know, people telling ball players just to shut up and play ball. And it's because, well, they said something that was against their side.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
all it was. If somebody comes out, okay, and just for instance, because we've obviously been seeing some people with Fox News telling some of these, especially NBA players and obviously the NFL players who wanted to take a knee, to just shut up and play ball. If one of them had come out and went, Trump is the greatest, you know, he's going to lead this country back, they would go, that's right, preach, man, use your platform to preach.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do something that's kind of against what you think.
Yeah.
And even though I'm doing it in a peaceful manner, man, just shut up and play ball.
Well, my analogy of it is like, okay, everybody's screaming fake news, which I think is a dangerous thing.
It really is. It is.
They keep screaming, and not from either side. It's just dangerous, period, for
Yes.
everybody.
Yes, it is.
But the only reason why a lot of people scream fake news is because it's not backing up their worldview.
Mhm.
It can't be
Oh,
true
yeah.
if it's not what I believe.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. A friend of mine is a professor here, and he had put up something about Grenada on there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Some woman who had visited the island for a couple of weeks said, "Oh yeah, you know," and she went, "Yeah, we see thank yous all over the place." You know what I mean? And the professor, there's a sociology professor here, said, "Well, you know, my friend is from there. That's not what that's not what he tells me. That's the people, actual people, how they feel
Yeah.
about it." And you know what she said? Well, he must be one of them communist killers. She don't even know who I am.
Exactly.
But
It went,
because I did
against
not-
what she thought.
Yeah, you know, mind you, it went against what she thought
Mhm.
about my country.
Yes. Okay, here's even another example of that. Jake had kind of told me this a couple days ago, and then I went looking for it. Darren Ravel, who's I'm going to loosely say sports commentator. He had been at ESPN for a while, I guess, as one of their business insiders, which I really don't understand. But anyway, he's no longer working for ESPN. Well, I haven't seen it, but 60 Minutes did a piece on gambling in college sports. Nothing new has come up on there. 60 Minutes did a piece on gambling in college sports, and so they wanted to talk to Mike Hamrick, our athletic director here at Marshall, because he was an athletic director at UNLV for several years, which obviously gambling's going on all the time in Vegas.
Yeah.
And now here at Marshall, West Virginia is one of the first states to legalize gambling on collegiate sports. Well, I don't quite know what he said, but I know it wasn't along the lines of, "Oh yes, this is a great thing, we should just allow it, blah, blah, blah," whatever, because if you look at Darren Ravel's Twitter feed, you'd swear that he is nothing but a raging gambler, because it seemed like almost every tweet was a line for this, and look at the action that's going on at the sports betting as this game's about to get started, and all that. And so he retweeted out about the piece on 60 Minutes, and he just straight up called Mike Hamrick a buffoon because of what he thought about the gambling. And I started reading through some of the responses to his tweet about it, and people were going, "You're really going to call him a buffoon just because he disagrees with you?" I mean, he just straight up said, "Wow, Mike Hamrick comes off as a buffoon in this, just because it's against what Darren Ravel believes with all of the money gambling and college sports and things like that."
I'm going to drop this there, okay? I played 2 semesters of college ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a slavery, dude. Everybody's making money, but you. College kids can't buy soap. They have to struggle to get food. If they're running around so much, if they miss lunch, they go hungry because they don't have no money to buy nothing. You know what I mean? You take these kids from a lot of these college players, like not many big college, but generally speaking, whose parents don't really have nothing to support them. That's why they got the scholarship.
Yeah.
And then you use them.
And the thing is, for some of them who even are on full rides.
Yeah.
Well, if they don't come from a family that has money.
Yeah.
Well, they're still going to struggle.
Yeah.
Some of them will still get some kind of a
stipend.
Yeah, like a stipend, a town check, monthly, something like that. But obviously, it's not enough for them to just go.
What do you all think?
Spend or whatever. And I know most people will say, "Oh, but they're getting their education for free and whatever." It's like, you know what? That's fine, but if you're getting your education for free, but you still can't go buy something general that you need.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about, "Oh man, I want to go out and buy this diamond chain and I can't go do it." That's not what I'm talking about. Like what you said, you can't go buy toothpaste, you can't go get a sandwich or something like that. It's.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I am so sorry for saying it this way, but man, I felt like if I was standing on an auctioning block. You know what I mean? The first time somebody said, "You look like you're going to be a stud," and I was like, "Whoa, hold up now. What are you talking about?" I'm still unfettered, I ain't going studying nobody. What are you talking about? That was when I first came here and I didn't know the lingo.
Yeah.
When he said I'm going to be a stud, I keep thinking,
Yeah.
man, they could like lock me in a room with some women or something so I could breed more basketball players. What's he mean by him a stud? That's what you do to horses when you put them on the pasture. You know what I mean? But hey, guys, chime in on the comment section and tell us what you think of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, working in athletics. Like I said, I haven't seen the piece on 60 Minutes, but I know that obviously it can be touchy with, legalizing the betting on college sports. Will it, if you legalize it, will it help take out some of the corruption? Will it make it easier for, people to get at players to say, hey, we'll shovel you a little bit of money if you just happen to miss that free throw, late or something like that. But but for this guy to just come out and just say, wow, he looks like a buffoon, and it's because he disagreed. And that's why I liked when I'm reading through some of the comments in there, basically saying, it's like, wow, you're gonna call this guy a buffoon just because he disagrees with you. And I liked one of them. They said, well, no wonder you don't work for ESPN anymore. And that's a way that you can kind of go at somebody without saying something hurtful and disgusting and things like that.
Yeah.
Without then that person saying, wow, I can't believe you called him a buffoon. Well, you're a
Yeah,
which is what a lot of people do.
Moisa kind of made a point there. He said, there's just way too much money in amateur sports right
There
now.
really is. I forget what the
mean?
total was about how much is being paid out right now for the rights to broadcast the NCAA basketball tournament for March Madness. I mean, it is an insane amount of money.
See,
remember, we talked about this on a podcast, the college admissions scandal that just came down right now, and you have rich people paying out more money to try and get their kid into a good school than it might just cost to send them there anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them were paying $500,000 or more to get their kid a fake athletic scholarship just to get them into some of these prestigious schools. And they were going after sports that, I will say this, the guy who was doing it was at least somewhat smart in this category. He wasn't trying to get fake athletic scholarships to the football teams or the men's basketball teams, because I'm sorry, those coaches will be like, no, we're filling our roster with people who can actually do something, and that's also the quickest way to get caught, as well. So they went after the sports that, I hate to say, it seems like most people don't care about. The head men's soccer, I don't know if it was the men's soccer coach, but one of the head soccer coaches at UCLA just resigned because they were named in it for taking bribes to basically tell an admissions department at UCLA, oh yeah, that's one of our prospective student athletes, so yes, please accept them. Because the reason why they're going after basically fake athletic scholarships is because a lot of times the standards to get into a school for athletics can be a little bit lower than the rest of the student population.
So it's just rich people trying to get their dumb kids into college.
Pretty much. And again, it's rich people doing whatever they want and feeling like they can get away with whatever they want.
But how ironic? But you know what though?
Aunt Becky, shame.
Yeah, that's a formative action for rich people. Right there. My affirmative is green.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jeez.
I
mean, the amount of money that was paid out in some of these, you're just going, woo, hoo, hoo, hoo. I mean, in some cases, coaches were raking in over $1 million.
And so many people are so disappointed.
Over $1 million.
They're so disappointed in Aunt Becky. She was such a wholesome.
Full House was a wholesome show.
You know what I mean? Yeah, the love. What's that single father? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bob Saget.
Oh, he was a single. You see, now they had to corrupt the single father. You know what I mean?
But Aunt Becky was with Uncle Jesse though.
Well, yeah.
But all living in the same house. That's why it's called Full House.
I mean?
I guess, right?
Dude,
I used to watch that show a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, I did a little bit and thing, but dude, those people that was on that show, they just went south in their life, man. I mean, some of them ended up on drugs and you know what I mean. And
Yeah, I remember the middle daughter.
Yeah.
Stephanie's the character's name. Yeah, she was on drugs real bad for a while. She's clean now and has been clean for a bit, but I know she ended up in really bad shape for a while on that stuff, but.
I know, dude.
You know, I think that's where some people, when they get stuck in the typecast, you know, where it gets hard for them to be able to find another part. I mean, heck, how many more things have you seen Jaleel White in? Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
You know, since he was Steve Urkel.
Yeah, he did a couple of things. He did.
But you haven't really seen him in a whole lot, though, you know?
Because every time you see him, he looks serious, you laugh.
I know, yeah. You keep thinking that's Steve. Yeah. Yeah, some cheese, you know.
You know, when people are, when kid actors, what they should do is, once the show is done, go off and do the college thing and then come back later to it. When people are trying, you know what I mean?
Well, but for some of them, though, they start off as kids, and by the time the show is over, they're past college age, man.
They could go back to school.
No, I know, but as far as, you know, the going back and whatever, it's like, man, they're already kind of an adult at this point. But no, we just have some more people tuning in. Who's tuning in? My brother-in-law is tuning in, McCain.
There's somebody I haven't seen in years.
McCain, keep your dirty comments to yourself. I know some of those nasty things you send me in text messages that just make me think, dude, where do you find this stuff?
Ooh, he just called you old, McCain.
You know what's funny, though, is a lot of times whenever I go home, McCain and I can basically act like a couple of kids. And my sister will look at us and go, why do you instantly turn into 10 years old every time you come home? And I said, man, would you rather us hate each other or sit over in the corner and giggle about something, you know? Like, come on.
But, yeah, man, you know. And here we are. And this is something I try to explain to people, too. You know, it's like the stuff that a rich person could do, you can't do it.
No,
you know what I mean? But they're acting like if rich people are entitled to a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean?
My kid should be entitled to just go to Yale.
But
really?
That's the funny part about
what
it.
What if they just barely got through high school? Are you serious?
They've got poor people thinking that they're entitled to that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That, you know, so you have poor people going, oh, they're looking up to all these. Man, people are looking up to the Kardashians, for crying out loud. Only because they have money.
I know. That family makes me want to vomit. I'm sorry. I'm
not that bad off on them. I really don't
care. They do,
man.
You know, I've been working around young females for quite a while, working with college softball. So unfortunately, I've kind of heard a lot about some of that stuff more than I wanted to. I've never watched an episode, but it's just, man. Y'all destroyed Kanye. Y'all destroyed Kanye. His eyes just look dead. They just look dead. Eyes.
Yeah, but you know, like you know, anybody could get rich. That's what people fail to realize.
Mandy Campbell says it goes back to earlier in the show. Corruption has been going on since the beginning of time. That was another thing we talked about in the podcast.
Yeah.
Was just I really think it has been going on since man first figured out what wealth is.
Yeah.
And to be able to look at somebody and say, I have more than you do.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm better than you, right? Yeah.
What's up, Mandy?
So the hunger for accolades, fancy cars, mansions, and power are consuming us. Sadly, most people would rather steal or cheat others instead of working for their talents.
Now, you want to know what's sad about it too? Poor people will steal or take stuff from other poor people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not advocating to take anything from anybody, but they never go after the rich.
Well, I do remember when Hurricane Katrina happened, and you know the news kept showing all of the looting that was going on in New Orleans and all that. And I remember a reporter asked Joe Horn, who at the time was a receiver for the Saints when this was going on. They said, well, how would you feel if somebody broke into your home and stole your TV? And he said, look, if there's something in my home that can help them live through this, go ahead.
Yeah.
I can buy another one.
Yeah.
Because he was making a few $1 million a year.
Yeah. I also saw like a billionaire in India just gave a bunch of money to like farmers and stuff in India to help them.
Moesa, where I was saying that they destroyed Kanye, he said, Kanye, what about Bruce?
They didn't do anything to Bruce. What's her name?
Caitlin?
Now? Caitlin, yeah.
Caitlin?
You know what I mean?
He
I'm
said he'd
telling
been
you.
thinking about that for a while, but I guess
Yeah.
maybe the Kardashians finally brought it
They
out.
brought it
of
out to
him.
them, you know. You know, listen.
Oh, man.
I mean, I don't have a problem with him doing that. I really don't. It's none of my business anyway. I don't understand what's the, well, here I am, I'm blah, 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 blah. Dude, I don't really care. Do you? You know what I mean? All these people are, you know, and everybody makes a big deal about it. So what? You know, you're another human being. You're being yourself.
Well, remember,
Congratulations.
didn't we on an episode years ago, you and I both came out as straight, and nobody made a big deal about
You
that
know what
one.
I mean? Yeah, ain't nobody say you're straight. Come on, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? You know, that is a really, really stupid argument.
It is. It really is. But hey, we like to do that occasionally on the show.
You know, I came out as black when I was born. I mean, nobody made a big deal of that.
Yeah. No, nobody made a big deal about it. You just kept getting bigger.
Yeah, no, I'm blacker.
Although you're the one who keeps saying you got to go back to the island so you get your tan back.
Look, guys, look at this. I'm yellow. I need a tan. I don't like this
I
yellow
hope,
stuff.
I hope your brother's going to tune in at some point to see that.
Hey, my brother came up here and he looked at me and he said, "Man, are you sick?" And I was like, "What do you mean am I sick?" He said, "You look pale." I was like, "Dude, temperate climate, you know. I'm
I've been
not under
living
the hot
in
sun."
winter for 30 years,
You know
man.
what I mean? You know, I've been getting snowflake for 30 years.
Hey, man, it barely even snowed this winter. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know, man.
So mad. It was cold and raining all the time. I got so mad at that. What a disappointing winter. I like to have some good snows occasionally, you know. And that was just disappointing.
Yeah, I'm
Best
already
snow
disappointed.
I saw this winter was we got an inch,
Yeah.
and it was gone by the next day.
Hopefully, I'm out of here before the next snowfall. I'm so sick of winter, dude. I'm so sick of like just freezing all the
at this
time.
point, definitely, if it's not gonna snow, just go ahead and warm up.
Yeah.
You know, just go ahead and warm up.
The only problem I
Especially
have
with
with-
playing with an outside sport right
Yeah.
now with softball,
The only
because we've
problem
had
I-
so many bad weather games.
The only problem I have with it warming up is some people should not be wearing booty shorts. I'm sorry, man. Where I walk, they come in there and
You
it's like
didn't-
you all are walking amongst food. No, come on.
Didn't you post one?
No, I didn't
Oh.
post that. I don't know how that got on my thing. I don't know if I got hacked or something. It was like we couldn't
man.
tell if she was standing away with her back to her.
Yeah. That was horrifying.
Dude, I am telling you, man. I see the strangest thing. Listen, I think I didn't say, did I, anyway, this dude comes in, got dreadlocks, okay, have on the Rasta hat, have on a t-shirt that said peace and love, but have a gun on his side. How you gonna preach peace and love with a gun?
I guess everybody's going to be peaceful to you if they think you might shoot them.
Nah, they're scared of him. There's a
Well, that's what I'm
difference.
saying.
You told us, dude, I had the weirdest thing happen to me the other night walking home from work.
Oh, I think I read this post.
So I'm walking home, you know, just coming up. I look across the street and there's this girl. She looked like she's about 5 feet tall. She's wearing a reddish maroon top hoodie and jeans. You know what I mean? And the only reason why I know she was over there is because I heard her mumbling to herself. So I was like, okay, you know, it's just some little short lady, you know, I ain't got no problem here. So about a
You
block
think you don't
down,
have
yeah,
a
about a
problem
block
here.
down, I heard breathing next to me. I turned around and she's right there walking behind me. So I turn around and I look at her and I say, yeah, oh yeah. I was like, oh my goodness, am I on a Walking Dead episode? Am I going to get bitten here or something? I mean, she was right behind me.
I'm infected.
You know, more than one when she walking down that avenue. That's a some of the beast. But you know, so I turn around and I look at her, and as soon as I look at her, she went across the street. She ran across the street, then was walking for a little bit, then went down a side street. That was weird. No, yeah, no. If I was a superstitious type, I would think she was some kind of phantom woman or something coming to suck the life out of me.
Witch who just put a curse on you.
Oh, so that explains why I'm so good looking.
What
She put a curse on me.
what was it? What was it called in the book you wrote?
Laja bless.
Laja Bless. There it is.
Yeah, anyway,
Coming to steal your life force.
let's take this time here to say, hey, check out our podcast.
Mhm.
Check it out. We got some funny stuff on there. The next episode is dropping on Monday, 7 a.m. in the morning, so you guys could get it on the way to work and stuff. But this one is called Illegal Immigration, Ice Ice Baby. And yes, I could joke about that, you know what I mean? Also, our website is on there, on our page now. And on there, I did put up the mini documentary that I did with
Alright.
West Virginia Broadcasting, public
broadcasting.
broadcasting.
Yep.
It's on there if you want to go check it out and thing, see what
I would
it's
have
all
loved to
about,
have known
you know.
how many steps you racked up on that, because man, they got you walking all
All
over the place.
I
and,
was at Ritter Park. I was at
walking
Marshall.
across campus.
Yeah.
And I think you were walking through about half of that video.
I know.
Which
but,
makes me wonder how much more you walked that hit the cutting room floor.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
In the
But
editing booth.
I guess you figure, he got long legs, but the dude that did it is a really good dude.
No, they did a good job with it. They did.
Russ
They
Barber,
did.
he's the one that produced it, and a good guy. He actually has an office downstairs here at Marshall.
Oh, you know? Okay.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
those of you who don't know, those of you who are in the Caribbean and stuff, we in a university here.
Mhm.
This is a university radio.
Yep.
Downstairs they have some television.
Campus
stuff.
radio station. Yep. This
You know what I
this
mean?
building has got a lot of different classes and things
Yeah.
like that, and the journalism department's in here.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why you and I have been in, been in here for so long, and obviously doing this show in here. So yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But check out the podcast and things, subscribe, comment, and give us a little, rating, you know what I mean? On iTunes, we on iHeartRadio now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We also on Google Music Play. We on Spotify.
Spotify.
I could never get that right. We on Stitcher. We on something called Radio Public. We on TuneIn. We on a bunch of stuff. So you know what I
There
mean.
you go.
You have no excuses for not listening to this podcast because we on everything possible. I just went nuts and I put it on everything.
Mhm.
You know what I mean and thing. And if you want to look at past podcast shows and you don't want to deal with anything, you could go to our website and go to the podcast section and they are all listed in there. You just click on it. It's a pretty green, so it's not some ugly player. Go check it out, man. And like I said, subscribe to us on iTunes or wherever you go. And also, give us a little comment or something. Let us know what we're doing good, what we're not doing good, what you would like to see us do.
And even if you
And
disagree
rate
with us, figure out a way to say it without it being laced with colorful metaphors.
Yeah.
And by colorful metaphors, I mean words that we cannot say on public radio.
Yeah, because we
George
might-
Carlin's 7 dirty words. Try and leave those out.
Because we
you know.
might mention it on
Mhm.
here, you know what I mean? At that
We
time,
we know people disagree with us, but you can do it without being
Yeah.
nasty.
Well, I don't see how people could disagree with us because we're all about the human being. We could disagree with that. You understand what I mean? Because we're not saying. Some people consider us liberal,
Yeah.
but
Which I find funny.
I find
but
funny because,
but
you
if
know-
anybody thinks I'm conservative, I find that funny too.
Well, a lot of people at first consider me conservative. Because I wouldn't do certain things because which is odd because they think I'm conservative and maybe very religious because I don't.
And then
run
you start
around-
talking about peace, and like, oh, he must be one of those liberal
Yeah,
fools.
man, you know what I mean? One of them immigrant savages with one
Yeah.
piece so that they could cook us and eat us. They want to lull us into some false sense of peace and
If
then,
you want
hey!
if you want to hear his response to a question asked him one
Yeah.
time about do you still eat people where you're from? You'll have to check out one of the podcasts.
Check out the podcast. It's the one dropping Monday.
Yeah, the illegal
illegal immigrants.
illegal
Ice,
immigrant.
ice,
Yeah,
baby.
because he does give the answer that he was asked to that question
Yeah.
one time, and no, we cannot really repeat that
Yeah, on
the
the
air. So you can breathe easy, Dr. Bailey.
Yeah. We ain't gonna go there, Doc. Don't worry. But
Has he
I
heard
do.
that story? Does he know what you said?
nah.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't even think you read the book.
Oh.
But the other day I was thinking, when we talking about all this immigration stuff, and I was thinking about when I first came here, and people don't understand the culture shock that we have when we come here. Like
Yeah.
for instance, where I'm from, it's like 86% black. I land in the mountains of Kentucky.
Ooh.
There was nobody from my region.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? And I was so happy to see a black man, but then I couldn't understand what the black man was saying either. It was an
Really,
African
didn't you say
American.
at first when he said, "What's up, dog"?
I wanted to hit him?
Yeah.
It was like, what you calling a dog?
Yeah.
And you know, he's like, man, that's a slang, you know. And of course, I mistakenly think, well, it's an American slang. So everybody says, so I went to this white girl and say, "What's up, dog?" And she almost slapped me. You know what I mean? You see all the little nuances we have to figure out before we become acclimated to this culture.
But you know what's funny now is nowadays you'll hear white girls saying that to each other. "Hey, what's up, dog?" You
know what I mean?
But yeah, back then at that point, that girl was going to smack you.
You know what I mean? She wanted to bust me up. I was like, whoa, what's going on?
Boy, that was going to be passing around the beating. You wanted to hit the first guy for calling you a dog because you thought that was an insult. And then when you don't know that's an insult to then somebody else, you want to say it, she want to smack. Boy,
you know what I mean?
Violence going on
So
just because of calling somebody a dog.
Imagine the absolute, I mean, Moesa went through some of this with me. So we were there at college together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The translation. I mean, dude. You see, that's why I'm still cool with my ex-wife.
I love it,
she
though.
was my translator back there.
Yeah. Well, I was your translator for a while in Gullickson. That was hilarious. You know, an African-American male would walk in and say something, and he'd look at me and go, "Did he just say something to me? What did he just say?"
Yeah.
And then the look on their face, because they're standing there going, wait a minute. Did the black dude just ask the white dude what the black dude said?
Yeah.
And I'm going, and then when I say back to you, well, this is what he said. "Oh, hey, what's up?" You know, or something like that. Like,
you know what I mean?
they're going, what?
Yeah, you know.
I still had to translate for this guy.
But the thing about it is, though, people think that there's a black universal language.
Yeah.
That everybody, and black people, African Americans do it too. They expect you to understand. And when you don't, they look at you like you're strange. You know, like sometimes I have conversations with African Americans and they say stuff and I'm like, okay.
I still love it whenever somebody says, "Hey, say something in your language," and you look at them and go, "Hello."
No, something in your language. Hello.
I love it. I've been around for a couple of those. They're great.
But
man.
yeah, I mean, the culture shock is something else, man. You know what I mean? Because
Well, I can imagine even just the one that I'll get if I get to go back to Grenada with you. Because, I mean, okay, look, I went to St. Croix, but unfortunately I didn't get to be around a whole lot of, you know, like the actual people
The
in
natives.
town. Yeah, and I wish I could have. Although I will say that the guy who was driving the boat that went between, because the island, when we went to St. Croix, the hotel that we stayed was on its own little island, like a little key or something, just right off the big main island. And it was a very short distance, but obviously they had their own little ferry to go back and forth. And the guy who drove it pretty much spoke what I think is patois, because I described some of it to you and you went, "Oh yeah." But so I had already been listening to reggae for a while because of doing the show with you. I had also just been through French class, and you said French is one of the languages that's mixed in there, and obviously English too. So I could understand him. Now, I couldn't speak back to him in patois, but he would say something, and I could understand him, and he loved it, because everybody else on the boat would go, "Ah." Now, I wish I could remember the way he said it, but like, for instance, we get on the boat, and he would say, you know, "Hey, where are you guys going?" Obviously not like that. And everybody would be kind of just looking at each other like, "I don't know what to say. What did he just ask?" And I'd say, "Oh, we're actually going to go over to this restaurant for lunch." And I remember, especially my friend Adam and his parents, they looked at me and they went, "You understood him?" I said, "Yeah, he just asked where we were going." And he got this big grin and he goes, "Ah, that's my boy." And so every time we got on the boat, he said, "Ah, there he is, you know what?" And I mean, he'd say, you know, "Wagwan" and things like that. And so, and he and I would talk, and I remember Adam sometimes would just look at the both of us, just going back and forth and going, you know, because obviously Adam would understand what I would say. And this guy understood English perfectly. So I could speak back to him in English. He'd speak to me in patois, and we would just keep this going back and forth.
What people don't know
It was
is
hilarious. I loved it.
When I get really comfortable with somebody, I sometimes slip way back.
Oh, that's great. I know when you're really missing home, because you know, like when we're supposed to meet up for something, and you'll either call me or I'll get a text and say, "Hey, where you day?" I'm almost there. I'm coming.
You know what I mean? And having and that's where Bonnie came in, and I mean, she would translate, which I don't understand how she understood me. Because, you know.
Well, you know, for some people, if you just listen closely, even if, like I was with that guy on the boat, I obviously didn't understand every word he said, but I caught enough to be able to put it together and figure it out. And so, if she listened closely enough, I'm sure she was able to get it to figure it out.
I haven't figured out. No, there was an exchange student in the school where she was from South America, so she was kind of used to.
Okay.
She was friends
well, at least having to having to listen closely.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and thing, and but sometimes we had our little battles on what to say. You know what I mean? There's a thing down here. Was a store down here called Ladders. It's Lattas.
Yeah.
But she sent me to Ladders, so.
You're going looking for a ladder.
Yeah, I went looking for Ladders, you know. And then I went back home and she said, "Good Lord, what is it?" And then she take me down and I said, "That's Latt, not Ladd."
Well, there was a time too when you and I used to just jump on here sometimes when they didn't have a DJ come in, and I remember you happened to say that we just played a song by Tupac. And somebody called in because they were disappointed in how you said Tupac.
Yeah.
What'd you say, like Tupac or something like that?
Yeah.
And they go, it's pronounced Tupac. You know, like however you said it was different. And then you just said, I have an accent. I'm sorry. You know, I was like, what? Come on, folks.
You know, and that was her sister too.
Was
calling you to demasculate her brother. You know what I mean?
Disappointed you pronounced it wrong. I have an accent. You know, can't you tell?
Yeah, no. Well, you know, in her defense, she probably just wanted to hear me talk on the phone. She's probably going, I want to get him to talk to me. Ooh, sensual. You know, she's hearing a Barry White song in the background, only it's in a Bob Marley. But yeah, and listen, it's hard to get used to a different culture. You know what I mean? The best way I did it was to find similarities.
Yeah.
You know, and then I roll with that. And after all this time, I'm still trying to get used to stuff.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what I mean?
I'm still trying to get used to things in West Virginia. I'm American. You know?
But you see, you know, where I'm from,
even different states are different.
Well, even where I'm from, as small as the island is, you know, I would have a hard time. I'm from St. George's, that area. I would have a hard time understanding somebody from Grenville because they talk really fast and it's completely broken English. You know what I mean? Now, back then, my dad is from that part of the island, so you know. But I know if I go back home now, I'm gonna have to.
It's gonna be struggle city. Well, don't look at me to translate.
I know. You can't help me with that one, but you know what I mean. And so, but you know, being an immigrant, going to some another country, and you know, those of us who have traveled know it. Especially, like if you go to a country where they don't speak their language. For me, that's exciting. You know
I would love an opportunity to get to go visit France, and I'm not talking about just going to Paris or something like that, because okay, we had a player on our team, Eloise Triplet, nicknamed Wheezy, who was from France, and then we ended up with another one in 2017 who came over from the swim team, Chloe Parsamé, who was from France as well. And well, Wheezy's back in France right now, and I would love to get a chance to go visit there and just go around somewhere with her. Because obviously I know, one, I've got a translator, but I would, because I know that she'll know where to take me to go see some of these things, and and I know she's from near the city of Lyon, but I'm sure she knows all kinds of other places.
Little countryside places.
Yeah, and like I
get
said,
some authentic
like
food
I said,
cooked.
I wouldn't mind stopping in Paris, but I'm not going to say, man, I just want to go spend a week in Paris. No, if I get to go spend a week in France, I want to be able to spend a week in France.
Yeah.
Not just Paris. Give me Paris for a day, maybe half a day, and then let me go out. Let me go out into the countryside.
I don't even think Paris is romantic anymore. Anyway, I don't. It's all that outside, edge type vibe. I think that's romantic more than anything else. You know what I mean?
Well, like some of the photos that we keep seeing, ones that you post, and ones that'll pop up as backgrounds, on my computer every once in a while. So many great countryside photos that you just look at and go, oh, I wish I could just stick my hand into that screen and just it
Be
sucked
there.
me right into there, you know. And those aren't cities. Those are wonderful places in the countryside. I would love to go see, and in a lot of different countries too.
Yeah. And for those of you who are on the Rudebuoyz Facebook page, you can notice I post pictures from all over the world.
Yeah, he
You
does.
understand what I
Yep.
mean? And if you're not on that page, go love it. Because I put food from different places. Mainly right now is Greece and the Caribbean. I haven't found
Man,
anything
some
but-
of those places in Greece just look
I know.
and and even some of the hillside towns.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
and just the look of it. I mean, it's just
the
it's
Swedish
just incredible.
towns.
Yeah.
Even the Ukraine is beautiful.
What was that? What was that one that you posted of wintertime in Reykjavik, Iceland?
Oh yeah.
Oh man!
You know what I mean?
Obviously, Reykjavik is a big city. It's the capital, but still,
Yeah.
you know. And then also just outside of there's a whole lot of countryside.
Yeah.
Again, if I got a chance to go to Iceland,
Yeah.
would love to visit there. But I would also like to be able to go out and see some more of those places, not just the city of Reykjavik.
There's two things I want to do. Okay, one is I want to go to that underwater hotel.
Mofro said you're killing him with the food posts.
You're welcome, brother.
I will say this. Mofro is a good cook, so he's probably looking at some of those going, I got to figure out how I can make that.
Just tell me which ones and I'll send you recipes, brother.
Oh, there you go. He said it right there. That's your invitation, Mofro.
And,
Mofro makes a really good chili. I've had his made from scratch Alfredo sauce as well. So Mofro's a good cook, man.
Yeah, you
Good
know what I
cook.
mean? There's a whole generation of men that are really good cooks.
I like to cook. I wish I could have
And a
a
whole
chance.
generation of women who just say, you know, that's demeaning to us. There, we're not your slaves.
Well, if you're living by yourself, good luck.
Yeah, know what I'm saying?
That's one of the reasons why I'm glad that I can cook. I mean, I live by myself, and I've lived by myself for a long time. I don't want to be somebody that has to go into the frozen food section and go, okay, this many little, microwavable or oven, will get me through this many lunches, and then this many will get me through this many dinners, and okay, well, now I got to go get these for breakfast. And I wish I could have a chance to, I guess, experiment a little bit more and make some more things, but I like the fact that I can cook for myself, even if it's something just kind of simple and basic, like just taking ramen noodles and throwing in some, some onions and green peppers and mushrooms and either chicken or Italian sausage with some teriyaki sauce or
Employers
something.
hate people like us because they would rather us go get that TV dinner and be at
Well,
work.
they'd also rather us go out to eat all the time too,
Yeah,
which I see a lot of people do around here, and all I can think of is, man, how can you afford that?
yeah. How could
Because-
your body afford to be lamb-based with all
Man.
that chemicals?
Well, for one, sometimes you'll look at how much they spend to go get a dinner or something like that, and I think, man, I could go spend maybe even just a few more dollars in that, and I can make something out of that that'll last me like 4 or 5 days, and this will get them through one meal.
Mofor said he's got a bacon soup that you would like.
Bacon hamburger soup.
Yeah.
You're making that when you
Also,
come in April.
Ryan Gill just joined us. What up, Ryan? And
Bacon cheeseburger. Hey, bacon hamburger, bacon cheeseburger soup. I don't care. You're making that when you come in April.
there's somebody named Kenneth on there. It's not Kenneth Cox though.
Oh, Kenny Kegley. I worked with him at the rec center. Man, how you
Oh,
doing? Haven't
yeah.
seen him in a while.
You see, there we go.
I haven't
See?
I haven't seen him since I worked at the bank in Ashland. He stopped
Well,
in there
like 5 years
occasionally.
ago.
So, no. 4 years ago.
Yeah.
4 years ago. I left the rec center about 5 years ago.
See?
I left the bank in 2015. Kenny, man, how you doing?
Yeah.
I hope your family's doing well, man.
Yeah. Go tell your friends. Join we're probably going to be going off of here soon. Get back to the music and thing. But whenever we're on, when next are we going to be on? And we're not on this weekend.
Okay, hang on
Because
a
he's
second.
gone all week.
Folks, I'm going
So
to
you
pull
know
out my
what I mean?
phone. I'm looking at a calendar.
Yeah, check it
okay?
out and
So, hang on, let
and
me,
see when we're going to be
let
on
me-
again because we're going to make this a habit being on live. Also, check out.
I actually tried to go like you had suggested. I actually tried to go live when I was out in San Diego with
Yeah.
softball, just to say, hey, folks, this is the reason why you're not going to tune into the Rudebuoyz
Yeah.
tonight, and it wouldn't let me. Very bizarre. Okay, so March 30th, which is next Saturday, I will be in Mississippi for games against Southern Miss. April 6th, we should be on again because we'll have home games here against WKU.
Okay.
So
okay.
April 6th. So a 1 weekend gap. So next Saturday we will not be on. The Saturday after that, April 6th, we will be back on.
Tell your friends and them, come watch us live on the scene and thing right here, you know what I mean? Also, check out the podcast.
Yeah.
Check it out, man. I'm
Mhm.
telling you, it's funny, it's informative, and it's kind of like what we do here, only there's a little bit more structure to it because, we want to vibe it up and thing for you.
Yeah.
But the podcast is called Rudebuoyz Rant.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's on iTunes, it's on
Spotify?
Stitcher,
That's at least
tune
3
in,
times of it.
Google
Oh, man.
Music Play. I mean, it's also on Blog Post, iHeartRadio. I just did that this morning, so it's probably
Okay.
not on there as of
Okay.
yet. Then Radio Public, it's called. It's on there. It's on a bunch of platforms that you guys can go check it out. It's only half an hour long for now.
Well, Moesa just
You know.
asked how come we only get an hour. Well, at least when we're doing this show, we
Yeah.
like to play music with it.
Yeah.
So,
And we
Yeah.
can't play the music on
Yeah,
there for
yeah,
copyright
yeah.
reasons. So,
you know, so
we
yeah,
only
we
on-
do the music for the first hour, we talk for the second hour,
Yeah.
and then we do music again till 11 when we go off.
Yeah,
so,
I-
but,
maybe we
but,
might-
well, partially one, because obviously we started this show because we loved getting to play this music.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of why we still do this,
Yeah.
you know, because we love to get to listen to this
Yeah.
music. So,
And who knows? Maybe later in the summer when you're not traveling as much, we might talk for a couple of hours. You know.
or at
You
least maybe an hour at a time. I don't, or we won't care to go. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. We got to stop.
Yeah.
something
You know
like
what I
that,
mean?
so.
And we might go back to going to 12 too. Just we'll see. We'll see how
We're
old
getting
we're going.
old.
You
I don't know
what
if we
mean?
can stay up that late.
You see the hat and everything. But yeah, and like I said, give us our ratings on iTunes. That'll help us out a lot there to get ranked so that more people can see it.
Yeah.
And drop some
And, you know,
suggestions.
yeah.
Drop some suggestions on our Facebook page if
Yeah.
you're on there.
Yeah.
And also drop some suggestions for us on our website. You know what I mean? Because this is like a learning experience for all of us.
Thanks for enjoying the show, Moesa. Appreciate that. He said he enjoys us.
Yeah,
He
cool.
enjoys us too. So
More, my brethren.
we love doing this show. We've been doing this now for. Okay, well, you and I have been kind of doing something together in this studio,
Yeah.
or in the other studio, but in this station for what? God, 15, 16,
yeah.
17, yeah, I don't know. Long time. But we've been doing this show, The Rudebuoyz, for at least 10 or 11,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's been about 11 years, so
Yeah. You know what I mean?
we love doing
Yeah,
this.
we really like doing this because this right here, we ain't getting paid for it.
Yeah.
We volunteer in here. So, you know what I mean? Hence the podcast. That's where the money's going to come in. So,
That's what we're hoping is going to come
that's
from.
what, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
we're
yeah.
hoping that something's going to come up that. So go hook us up. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? You know, like I said, subscribe. Subscribership is important there to get us to a certain point.
Mhm.
Rank us. You know, say what you just even if you give us a 1.
Like we said, we know people are going to disagree with
Yeah.
us. If you leave a comment where you disagree, figure out an intelligent way to do it
Yeah.
without being laced with cuss words.
Explicitives and stuff
Yes.
like that, you know. As you could tell, we are not into the cursing and stuff. We're just shocked.
Well, and that's the thing. Even with the podcast, you
Yeah.
know, I know you and I had talked about that before we started it. That we really didn't want to become that,
Yeah.
because you hear a whole lot of others where people
Yeah.
just say whatever they want to.
Yeah.
And I think it can get a little ridiculous
Oh, yeah.
sometimes. You know, people
I've
are
listened
cussing
to-
just for cussing's sake. You know,
I've listened to some podcasts and it's just some evidence, this,
Mhm.
that,
It
that.
pretty
you know,
much
that's
it's
just-
pretty much it's here's an opportunity for me to say whatever the bleep I want,
Yeah.
and we
And-
really
and
don't
we-
we really don't want to be that.
We are by no stretch of the imagination prudes.
No, we
You
do
know,
cuss.
it's-
We
it's-
just
it's-
we
it's
just
just
want to
that-
keep it off the show. Really,
It's just that for me and a lot of people I know, if there's a lot of explicitives in a point you're trying to make, a lot of people stop listening. Because
They
all
tune
hear
out.
is- Yeah, they tune
Yeah.
you out. You know what I
because
mean?
especially if you're talking to somebody who I guess disagrees with you,
Yeah.
they're not going to listen to you anymore if all you keep doing is basically going bleep 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 bleep
Yeah,
bleep.
you know what I mean? And that's why we don't play a lot of music. Speaking of which, before we leave,
Mhm.
I just saw something. There's a rapper called Kodak Black. You've heard of him?
Yes,
He
unfortunately.
said that he's better than Tupac and Biggie.
Whoa,
He said he's the GOAT.
whoa.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But here's what I think.
You know what's funny is, at least for right now, Drake would disagree with you
Yeah.
on that, but I also disagree with Drake on that one
but
too.
the thing about it is, though, he is a goat. He just looked like one. I mean, he's an OG.
You know what's funny?
Original goat face.
No, that would be OG. Did you say OGF?
Yeah,
you
original
did.
goat
Okay.
face.
Oh my gosh. You know what's funny is when you used to call somebody a goat, that meant it was bad. You know,
Yeah.
like the scapegoat, you know, things
Yeah.
like that. If you got called a goat, that was a bad thing. And now people have taken that because people are too lazy now to say greatest of all time.
Yeah.
So greatest of all time has now just become goat.
Yeah.
You know, because we're too lazy to say somebody's the greatest of
And
all
what
time.
a goat's known for, whenever you bend over, butt you in the bum. That's what
And
goats
will eat anything.
do.
They are garbage disposals.
My oldest brother and sister used to tell me this story all the time about the neighbor having a goat.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And they'd be in the yard, and the goat ain't paying no attention to them. But as soon as they bend over, all he hears, yeah. A goat's coming, boy. A goat see a bum, and the goat go crazy. A target.
You know that.
Dive.
You know that goat's over there munching away going, I know that human thinks that I'm not paying attention.
Yeah.
That's right. Squat over, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Show me that bum.
Puff.
Yeah. I don't know. They told me so many times that they got, butted in the bum with that goat. But anyway.
Oh, yes. Well, remember, you're tuned into the Rudebuoyz right here on 88.1 WMUL-FM, the cutting edge of your radio dial. Thanks for tuning in there, as well as anywhere in the world, www.marshall.edu/WMUL. I get to say that all the time when I get to call the softball games. And so thanks for tuning in, whether it's been those two places or right there on Facebook Live. Glad to have everybody along.
Yeah, maybe
tuned in
someday we
with us.
might be able to put the music on there. We just,
It'll obviously take some, where you've got to finagle the copyright stuff and
Yeah.
whatever. Obviously, if we get to become, I hate to call it a real show, but one that can, fully
Yeah.
go out there and broadcast everything.
Oh,
Look, MUL does already web stream everything. So if you like to continue listening along with the music, that's where you have to go over to the website, www.marshall.edu/WMUL. You can tune into the music there. And actually, somebody who just tuned in, and unfortunately he's tuning in right towards the end of the show, Eric, Reality, tuning in.
Whoa,
Reality,
come on,
we're still
Reality.
playing your music on
Yes,
this show.
I.
We're still playing your music on here, so... And in fact, we even started off again with that liner that you had recorded
Yes,
with that freestyle, and then the liner on there. So, yep, still playing your stuff there, buddy.
that's somebody we met through the station here.
It was,
yeah. Yeah, he's still
Yep.
on our Facebook and
Yep.
on Instagram. You know what I mean? And cool dude. Dude could rap too. Check
He
out his
can,
stuff.
yeah,
Check
he
out his
he
stuff.
really can. So, and that's why he still plays stuff.
Yeah.
And
As a-
not just because he came in and visited,
Yeah.
but because it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
He's on there now, so it's quite possible you could get on his page and check out some of his stuff.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? The dude is, New York boy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I.
And that was actually
Old
kind of fun.
stomping ground.
That was actually kind of fun for me, just to sit back and listen to you two talk
Yeah,
about familiar places up there in New
Yeah.
York City. So.
yeah, man. That's Eric, man. That's
All right, we're going to get back into the music. Sorry, folks, who've
Yeah.
been tuning in here. We're going to get back in
Remember,
with
we'll be back on again, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. We're going
April-
live again.
April 6th.
Your
April
comments are much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Go check out the podcast.
That's right.
Do the vibe and thing. You know
And
what
his
I mean?
first song was that Mark Wonder and who?
and Jareen.
Life. So we're getting back into the music. You're been tuned into the Rudebuoyz right here on the cutting edge.
Yes,
Glad to
sir.
have you all along.
All right.
Getting it started.